Hello scrappers and planet lovers, Tin Man here with another video. So today what I want to do is take apart these fruit and vegetable juicers. Found them both on garbage day at different times, and unfortunately they were missing a few pieces. One of them has the power cord missing, so I can't check to see if they work and try to sell them or donate them in good workable condition. But I was happy to pick them up for scrap value. These are very easy to take apart, and they do have some really nice scrap material. A lot of tin, some nice copper, some brass, and other great items, as well as stainless steel. So I'm going to show you how to take it apart right now, show you what's inside, and more importantly, how to separate it properly, maximize your profit, and divert as much of this away from the landfill as possible. So this one right here, this is a little bit different style. This one you can see more of a metallic look. If I put a magnet to it, you can see that it sticks. So this whole shell here is going to be tin. And currently right now in London, Ontario, tin is going for about 12 to 14 cents a pound. So that's nice that a lot of this shell I don't have to throw out. Even with the plastic coating on it, I'm just going to throw it all into my tin. This one here, unfortunately, is a lot of plastic body. And here, I don't have the means to recycle that. Our recycle program will not take items like this, so it will unfortunately have to go to the garbage. But I do also want to point out that some parts to juicers and other appliances, if they are in good workable condition or in great condition, you can resell them. This one is very scratched. There is a piece missing, so unfortunately it is going to go into the garbage. But that is my rule with anything. Before you scrap, check to see if it works or is in good workable condition, because you are going to make way more money selling it that way than a scrap. But again, this is garbage. Inside, very nice little catch basin for the fruit. Just going to pull this cap off. This right here, you can see, put a magnet to it. This is non-magnetic. So this thing is going to be non-magnetic stainless steel. I do have to remove the plastic, just hit that off with a hammer. There are a few bolts that I will have to grind off. But this right here, non-magnetic stainless steel, currently going for 77 cents a pound. So it's not a pound, but I do have a nice big bag of it stored up, ready to go. A lot of your barbecues, for example, the hose extensions out of there, or the nozzles for the burners, stainless steel. And I do want to make sure that I point out and clarify to some of my beginner scrappers, a lot of questions I've had about, is it stainless steel or aluminum? And the best way, in my opinion, to tell is the grinder test. If I hit this with a grinder and it sparks, it's going to be stainless steel, non-magnetic stainless steel. If I hit this with a grinder, it's non-magnetic and it doesn't spark, it's going to be aluminum. So just going to show you very quickly. I'm going to show you actually both of them. This is the one from this one, a little bit bigger, but I do have my grinder set up. And I'm eager to please beginner scrappers or try to help them along on their scrapping journey. So again, the spark test, here we go. So there you go, non-magnetic stainless steel, both of these, 77 cents a pound. Inside, again, this one, a lot of plastic. I'm gonna just put this off to the side. The appliance cord here, I'm actually just gonna cut it here. I will open it later. But the appliance cord right here, a lot of times people will drive by and just take appliance cords. And it is a great item. This in London, Ontario is classified as 40% appliance wire and currently is paying $1.67 a pound. So an excellent price. It does also have some nice coated brass prongs on the end. Some people leave these on for the weight. I do pull those off just using a pair of side cutters. And currently right now, brass is going for $3.27 a pound. Excellent price, all-time high right now. It is, in our scrappers world, the scrapper silver. And because of copper jumping, brass seems to be one of those ones that follow suit. So $3.27 a pound. I have a nice big ice cream container full of these, so they do add up for sure, but 40% appliance wire. Okay, just gonna put this off the side. The shell here, I have already removed the bottom, just had some screws. I have my screws here on a magnet. These are also gonna be tin. I put them in a nice big tin can, get the tin weight for them, but a little bit of plastic. And as mentioned, this one here, unfortunately, did not have the appliance cord. There is the spot where it was cut. There is a little bit of cord underneath, but what you can see underneath here is my moneymaker. There is a really nice copper bearing motor. And currently right now that, if I scratch that and it's copper, number 2 copper right now, all-time high price. I just went to the scrapyard yesterday. Today is April 21st. And copper, number 2 copper, going for $5.20 a pound Canadian. I've never seen that price, so awesome if this is copper. And this does have some good weight to it, but just gonna pull out the little bit of plastic. So there is obviously, here's a little bit of a logo there, so Warring Pro, okay? Inside, there is, just trying to get to that motor. And I will obviously also unattach or detach those screws, get the rest of this cord because it all adds up. There is also right there a few little buttons that are gonna have some silver. But I'm just gonna actually speed this up, see if I can just take a pry bar and pop that pin up, because this is really the only thing that's holding this motor in place. I've got to find my pry bar. I know I start moving stuff around. Here we go. So I'm just gonna pop that up. There we go. I'm glad I'm using safety glasses. Okay, but I may actually just hit this with a hammer just to speed it up because it's broken. But hey, there we go. And again, because this shell here does have the magnetic attraction, I am just going to throw this whole thing into my tin. So not going to break off as much as I can, but in order to get to that motor, I am going to do a little bit of smashing. It's the easiest way for me. So again, make sure I have safety glasses on. Okay, so there we go. That's how easy it is. So just going to feed the rest of this wire through. Look at my motor. Okay, I'm going to put this off to the side for a second, but there is my motor. Look at that. And I want to make sure I scratch that. Inside here, again, little bit of wire. There is going to be a small on this on and off switch here. A little bit of brass inside. I'm going to hit that out right now just to show you. Okay. Inside of that, a little bit of tin. So just going to leave that on. Here is my on and off switch. Has a little bit of brass in it, a little bit of connectors. Okay, so just gonna quickly show you inside. There is right there, little bit of brass, and you can see that little bit of smudge on that yellow circle there. That is actually a small bit of silver. So any type of your relay boxes like this, on and off switches, do have a small bit of silver. I do just cut it off, put it into a vial, but I will make sure I break this plastic box open, get out those little brass connectors. Here as well, a couple screws. There is my on and off switch that too is magnetic. So it all does just go right into a tin can. Safe and easy to transport. Okay, but little pieces, just gonna throw those in the garbage. But last thing I wanna look at here is, again, just another on and off switch that has a few screws in it, a little bit of brass, and you know, very easy to take. But the rest of this shell gonna be tin. Okay, my money maker, want to look at this, and I do have to just unscrew it. A few screws that I'm gonna pull out. Okay, so again, I wasn't lying when I said these are easy to take apart. Okay, but you know, especially if it is garbage, you know, just speeding up the process with a little bit of hammer and therapy, smashing therapy, if you will, for me. Okay, but last one here, just gonna quickly eject. There we go. Get these last few screws out of here. So not much plastic on this one. And I will say this one will have a small motor in it as well. So they both are gonna be taken apart the same way for me. So really don't have to show you both, because once I've done one, they're both gonna be the same. Okay, but there we go. Take out this motor. So, moment of truth. There is a little bit of plastic, so in order to get this fed through, I do have to break that. So I'm just gonna again put it on my vise here, hit that plastic. And there again, proof, having safety glasses. There's a nice piece of tin on the top. Not even gonna remove it from this plastic. This does not weigh much at all. So just gonna throw it right into my tin. But moment of truth, want to check this before I go ahead and open this. I want to do the scratch test to see if this is copper or brass. So again, if I scratch this and it reveals a metallic look underneath, it's going to be aluminum, and I'm just going to leave it as is. But let's just see. There you go. So that is copper. So number 2 copper right there, $5.27 a pound, or sorry, $5.20 a pound. Unbelievable price right now. This motor does also have some nice brass. You see right there at the end, some yellow brass. Yellow brass and coated brass can be thrown all in the same pile. You don't have to separate it. It does also have a really nice armature in the middle of this, which is going to look like this. And I do have separate videos showing you how to remove that copper out of these armatures. I will include the link to that video in my description. But again, nice armature for sure. Even if these windings here were aluminum, I would still pull out this copper bearing armature here. All of them are copper. And these right now, gonna get about 47 cents a pound for copper bearing motors if I don't take the time to open them. There are some that are more stubborn than others. There are some that I will actually not remove the copper out of. So again, I do have 2 separate videos showing you how to take apart armatures, easy ones as well as stubborn ones, and I will include both those links. But I do want to get that out. Nice little bit of brass up here too that I will take off. It does just have 2 screws to get this top off. I want to make sure. There we go. So these copper bearing motors, very easy to take apart. Going to be very similar to your vacuum cleaner styles. And while I'm on the topic of motors and vacuum cleaners, I do have a lot of subscribers, viewers, fellow scrappers that say they no longer pick up vacuum cleaners anymore because they say that the motors have now been replaced with aluminum windings. And that can be true with a lot of them. But when I'm scrapping, I can't tell just from the road. I've seen some that are very similar in style or same model. One is aluminum, one is copper. So I take them all. It's worth the risk. It's worth the check because vacuum cleaners still have great items. And as mentioned, even if this was aluminum, this is still going to be copper. And this does have some nice weight to it. So I'm going to make sure that I remove this piece of tin off here. Gonna remove that crown as well. Just take a grinder, just gonna grind down both sides. It will pop off. So nice brass there, but a nice armature. And this motor, very easy. I'm gonna just put the glasses back on. It's gonna have some nice brass on the sides that you see. Gonna get that brass off of there as well. It does have some ferrite inside, so just gonna pop that off. The ferrite will come out. There is gonna be a spring inside of that, as well as a little piece of copper. I'm just going to see if I can pull one off right now. There we go. Just going to break it, connector. Okay, so there is right here. So all of my vacuum cleaners, for example, I'm just going to pull it out actually. There you see the spring that it has, the little piece of ferrite. So a little piece of number 2 copper on it as well. This ferrite, there is a category for ferrite. I don't have much of it, so I actually just throw it right into my tin. But again, nice piece of yellow brass. Okay, and my motor, very simple to take this apart. All I'm going to do is actually just take my angle grinder and I'm just going to make one little incision down this side here, here. Then I'm going to put it in my vise, flip it over, and just use leverage to pull it out. So I'm going to do that right now. And there are different styles of motors. I will include a video on different motors, how to take them apart. But again, these are very easy to do. Okay, so take my grinder. Here it is. Just going to make 2 incisions. I'm going to just put it in my grinder right now, or my vise, not want to hold it. Okay, but just to show you very quick. Okay, the sparks did not come from the copper. It just showed that it was through. Okay, so there's the incision. And all I'm going to do is flip it, put it back in my vise, and again, just use science, use some leverage, pop it under here, okay, and pull it up. There we go. So 2 of these, look at that. Can't get easier than that. I don't have to remove the little bit of tape off there. This does have some nice weight to it. I'm going to say both of these together, probably 6 ounces. So that's nice with that. A nice bit of tin again, a nice tin shell, but this is my moneymaker in our scrappers world. Copper is our scrappers gold. So again, another bunch of number 2 copper, just throwing it right into a bag, getting that $5.20 a pound in London, Ontario. So awesome job for sure. Nice bit of tin, and unfortunately, a little bit of plastic here, but really not much to this. An armature as well, and an appliance cord on one of them at least, not both of them, but something better than nothing. So very easy to take apart. I have found several of them. Rule applies with all your scrapping. Check to see if it works first. If it works, you're gonna make more money selling it in good workable condition, or possibly donating it. I have donated lots of different items like fans and other types of appliances, electronics, to places like Goodwill. Better than going to the landfill. Tomorrow is Earth Day, so happy Earth Day to everybody. Looking forward to the questions, comments, feedbacks. Thank you for allowing me to grow with this community as a channel and working alongside so many people to try and make this a better world. So thank you again for everything. Please comment down below, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Tin Man out.